Today, I want to talk about why I believe lawsuits will get worse on YouTube, and I also want to talk about the solution. Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. If you don't already know who it is, the one and only, the true Alex J. And why I believe lawsuits are going to get worse. Well, you've got the Gabby and Ricegum thing that's going on right now. You've got the Matt Hoss versus the H3H3 stuff going on. You've got the old stuff, which is like the Toby Turner rape allegations and all that stuff was going on. You've got the Dramaalert versus Scarce. I mean, you've got all this kind of stuff going on. I want to talk about the solution to all this YouTube drama, how they can reduce the amount of drama that's going on. I also want to talk about the amount of lawsuits that happen and why I think it's going to get worse unless they take my advice and follow these actions. And I genuinely believe that there is a solution to all of this. Now, why do I believe lawsuits are going to get worse on YouTube? Well, I think it's pretty simple. The platform's growing, it's getting bigger and bigger. Long time ago, it was like kids in a schoolyard, right? They could talk trash, they could talk whatever they wanted, and there was no real repercussions. You know, you might get a slap on the wrist from a teacher. I don't know if they're supposed to do that, but you might get in trouble, you might get a little detention, but nothing major is going to happen, right? You're not going to lose money, you're not going to go into a lawsuit. However, when you get older, when you get more mature, that's when lawsuits start happening. You have to be a bit more careful with what you're saying and what you're doing. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to lose your freedom of speech, and this is really, really important. You've got younger people coming onto YouTube trying to get famous, and they're coming into the platform and they're making quite a lot of money. They're not traditionally from a business background. Most of them are quite young. You know, they might have been in some short films. Maybe they just started off on YouTube and just kind of hit it big when they were quite young. But traditionally, they're not from a business background, so they're not sure how to handle these things. Now, one of the problems that I see is when someone starts an argument, when someone starts drama, what happens is one person says something and another person quickly says something back, and the next thing you know, it's escalated, and then that's it, it's a full-blown lawsuit. Now, one of the reasons that I believe this is happening is because of the speed in which people are responding. Now, why are they responding so quickly? Why are YouTubers responding so fast? Well, I believe it's because that they're worried that they're going to lose their fan base. They're worried that they're going to lose subscribers. And obviously, if they're losing viewership, they're getting loads of dislikes on their videos, they're getting loads of hate comments, they're being abused on social media, like their Instagram and Twitter starts flaming up. Then obviously what's happening is they're going to get less views, which means less revenue. And obviously that's a worry for their future. So in their head, they're thinking, you know, the best thing that I can do is respond really quickly and tell my side of the story and be as genuine as I can. And, you know, they're doing it with their phone or they're crying on camera. And it's not helping. It's really not helping. YouTubers are trying to do damage control, but they're doing it all wrong. They're trying to do it as quickly as they can because they're so worried about, you know, how the audience is going to react and everything else. But I don't think that's the way that they should be doing it. And I know that's really easy for me to say from a logical standpoint, you know, when I'm not involved in anything. But from a business perspective, again, most of my money I've made away from YouTube. I don't really make any money off YouTube. Most of my money is from my business. And I know that if anything goes wrong with my business, like let's say that we have a bad piece of press or whatever, you know, we're not going to freak out over it. We just handle it. And one of the ways that we handle it is we have a PR person. Now, what that does is that's someone that will write an article for us. So I can say my point of view or my company's stance or whatever, and they'll kind of write it up. And okay, so here's the thing. If you're responding very, very quickly online, so if you've got videos out there, you've got pictures with like text and you've got Snapchats and all this stuff, all of it's saved, like people are saving this stuff, that can be used in court. That can be used against you. Now let's talk about this Gabby and Ricegum thing. This is like a perfect example of stuff that's happening right now. Now, no matter what side you're on, whether you're on Gabby's side or Ricegum's side, that's not for me to determine. But what I do want to say is this. Regardless of anything that's happening, both parties are handling it in the wrong way. So Gabby quickly responds, you know, by putting out this Snapchat saying, he hit me. Now I've watched Gabby's video, and in Gabby's video, she's saying that she was hit. And she very clearly says the word hit. Hit would infer that someone was punched, in which case, you know, Ricegum could be sued for assault or aggravated assault, dependent. For either party, it's not good. You know, if she was hit, that's really bad. And if he hit her, that's obviously really bad as well. However, at the same time, when I listen to her story, and again, I'm not taking sides, but I kind of want everyone to understand what I'm trying to get at here. She makes a video and she explains that she kind of admits that she was kind of harassing him. He gets really angry, and from what the story appears to be from both sides is that he's tried to grab the phone and he's pushed her to the floor and he's holding her arm, okay? So he didn't hit her. What it sounds like is that he assaulted her. Like, don't get me wrong, it sounds like assault, but he didn't hit her. He twisted her arm through the phone, smacked. Like, that's not good, okay? Don't get me wrong, that's not good. Violence against women is not correct. However, using the word hit lent the story in a particular direction. That had a lot of people believing that he physically punched her, which is what I first believed when I saw the video as well. I thought, oh wow, that's crazy. But the problem is she used the word hit. So Ricegum could get sued for assault, or he could then countersue and then get her back and say, well, you said that I hit you, which would infer a punch, when I didn't. Which means that you've actually done slander, which is also against the law. So then he can countersue. And this is kind of my point. Regardless of anything that happened, is because of the speed that Gabby put out that video, because obviously she was emotional at the time, she used the word hit. Now it's come out that it wasn't actually a hit, that he twisted her arm and he threw the phone, which again is wrong, but he didn't hit her. He assaulted her, but he didn't hit her. And that's kind of my point is, when she's responded so quickly, she said this so quickly and used the wrong word, and then he's coming back and he's like, I didn't hit her, which from the sounds of it, it sounds like he's actually correct. He assaulted her, but he didn't hit her. And again, I'm not saying that he did hit her. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm not saying that he assaulted her. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm not saying, what I'm trying to get at is, that's what it sounds like from this. And the problem is, it's going to lead to a lawsuit. They're not professionals. They're not ready for this. They're not, they're just young people that know how to turn a video on and they know how to get a great audience. I mean, they've got huge audiences, but they're not used to responding to these types of allegations. That's why you need someone in PR. Now, this is my solution. I think that these YouTubers, you need to hire someone in PR, dude. Like, you can get like a freelance PR. Like, if you don't need one, all year round, because, they're not cheap, but you can get them for like $50 an hour, right? And let's say that, Gabby, something happened to you. You can reach out to a PR person and say, look, this is what happened. How shall I respond? Like, what shall I say? I want to say this. I want to get my part of the story. Like, how should I? And they'll tell you what to say. They'll tell you how to word it. So it's not restricting your freedom of speech. You're still saying exactly what you wanted to say, but it's being controlled so that you're not going to get sued later on. Now, the reason it's really important to hire a PR person is their profession is to handle these types of situations. They've done loads of these situations in the past. They know exactly what to say and how they should say it, what words to use, what words they shouldn't use. And this is really important because this is going to keep the message is going to be appropriate to your brand. It's going to keep what you're saying legit. So it's still exactly what you wanted to say. It's going to limit future liabilities, and that's really important. It's also going to limit further repercussions, whether that be legal or responses, and it's give you a better standing in the future. So if anything did come back, you're able to turn around and say, well, this is exactly what I said, and this is exactly what's happened. And because it's so airtight, there's no wiggle room for any mistakes. But if you're responding so quickly, then obviously you're opening yourself up, because everything that you've said on the internet, every video, every tweet, every message on Instagram, Facebook, like Skype, everything, all of that can be used as evidence against you, because you're basically giving their lawyer something to use against you. You need to understand that you're not ready for that battle. You're not legally trained for that battle. You're not qualified for that battle. But there are people that are, and they're not that expensive. You can pay $50 an hour, like I said, and get a freelance consultant, and you can still get a really good one with loads of experience, and they'll tell you how to respond, where to respond, at what time to respond. Like, they'll tell you all of that, and that's exactly what you need. And again, I'm not really a YouTuber. I'm not like a big YouTuber. I'm not really famous. I'm none of that. But I'm a businessman. From a business point of view, I understand why this keeps happening. And I love YouTube. I love watching, YouTube videos. I love these YouTubers. Like, I followed like Toby for the longest of time, and K217 was like one of my favorite YouTubers when I was younger. I love like H3H3. I love Funhouse. I love watching all these videos. They're really great and they're really entertaining. However, I can tell when there's a company behind someone and they're really serious about their brand, or if it's just a young person just trying to make money. Because you need to take yourself more seriously as a YouTuber. You need to realize that this is no longer that playground. This is where the big boys come to play now. Like, there's people on here with huge companies behind them telling them, okay, you need to say it like this, you need to say it like that. And it's really, really important that you put yourself in that position and say, look, I want not just my YouTube channel to be a YouTube channel, it now needs to be a brand. It needs to be much bigger than that. And you need a PR person. Like, you absolutely need a PR person. I can't get that across enough. And by the way, this isn't sponsored by any PR firms. I'm not going to name any that I personally used. I'm not gonna do that. But what I am saying is, I think that that's a solution to a lot of these lawsuits that are coming up, and I think that it's going to solve a lot of problems in the future. And I know that Funhouse talked about it a little bit yesterday, and you know, when I was watching it, I was like, dude, I totally agree. And they didn't articulate it in the way that I wish that they did, but they still kind of hit home. The point is, you can tell when it's an emotional person, whether it be a young adult or a fully grown adult, you can tell that they're not prepared for that battle. And this is really important. If you want to be doing YouTube for a living, if you want to make YouTube a career, you want to have a big brand, you want to make a lot of money doing this, you need a PR person. And I think it's absolutely critical, especially right now. Like I said, there's a lot of people that are making a lot of money, and in the future they're going to be making a lot more money. And the more money they get, the more money they're going to be able to afford for lawyers. So to avoid that, if you have a PR person saying, yo, I wouldn't say that, I wouldn't use those words, I would do it like this. I would take their advice and do it that way. That way you're still getting your message out, you're not being restricted, but it means that you're not going to end up in a lawsuit later on. I really hope that you guys understand exactly where I'm coming from. I've tried to keep this as short as I can. I really do hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please make sure to leave a thumbs up, leave a comment below, tell me exactly what your opinion is. What do you think about my solution about hiring a PR person? Again, it's not that expensive. And I know for the smaller YouTubers, it might be a bit more difficult, but I'm telling you, dude, it's worth that money, because, paying $50 an hour for maybe 3 hours to consult and then write and then produce exactly what you wanted to say, that's a lot cheaper than a lawsuit that could be like $100,000, $500,000 or $1 million lawsuit. So again, please leave a comment below. Tell me your opinion. Do you believe that this is a good solution? Do you believe that there's a different solution for it? Are you a YouTuber? Would you hire a PR person? I'm also doing another video straight after this about the solution to YouTube. Obviously, YouTube is losing a lot of big advertisers right now. And again, I think there's another solution from that. Again, I'm not a big YouTuber, but I'm a businessman, and I understand exactly what these brands are thinking. I know what the YouTubers are thinking, and I think that they're both missing one key thing. And if they can fix that, we can get these big brands back, and obviously that means a lot more revenue for YouTube, and obviously that's going to give YouTube and YouTubers a much brighter future. So again, also check out that video. Please make sure to subscribe. Again, thank you for watching, but in the meantime, peace.